Next on Broadway Profiles, it's a holiday season unlike any other. I'll talk to Matthew Morrison about his starring role in Dr. Seuss's Grinch the musical. Plus, big star, teeny tiny holiday houses. I'll talk to Broadway star James Monroe Iglehart about HGTV's biggest little Christmas showdown. And a little later, if the fates allow, we'll talk to the Broadway stars behind the new Hadestown holiday album. I'm Tamsen Fadal, and this is Broadway Profiles, presented by Broadway.com. Welcome to Broadway Profiles. I'm your host, Tamsen Fadal. Well, so many things were canceled in 2020, but there was no canceling the Christmas spirit. And with Broadway theaters still closed, so many of our biggest stars were helping celebrate the holiday season on TV. And we're kicking things off with Tony Award winner James Monroe Iglehart. He won the Tony in 2014 for his breakout performance as the Genie in Disney's Aladdin. He's also starred in Hamilton on Broadway in the dual role of Lafayette and Jefferson. And maybe you most recently saw him in the Hulu documentary We Are Freestyle Love Supreme, about the improv hip-hop group's journey from a bookstore basement all the way to the Broadway stage. And now, James Monroe Iglehart is taking on a new role as a host of the HGTV holiday show, Biggest Little Christmas Showdown. Take a look. Biggest Little Christmas Showdown. Just sounds fun.
When I first heard the title, I got excited. This is a new HGTV holiday competition show, and it's about some of the most amazing artists you've ever seen, but they're miniaturists. So just imagine taking a wonderful design, a person who does home design, right? But they do it for a dollhouse, but it's the exact same. The amount of detail that they would put into your home, the amount of detail they'll put into your walls, your bed, your kitchen, they put that into these houses, and it is amazing. The amount of detail is ridiculous.
Did it shock you that people were able to do such, like, I'm a big picture person, so I can't imagine little detail stuff. Was it shocking?
It didn't shock me. I think what got me was how their minds were able to think. Mm-hmm. You know, like when we put our house together, we just think about, couch, bed, blah, blah, blah. They were thinking about other things like sconces, and they have to design the sconces and the lighting. There's lighting in the house. Like, you flip a switch and like this bad boy, and each light is different. It's not like one light and all the lights turn on. No. One light goes to one room. One light, it is, you're like, you built a house. Like, if you were to have one of those, sci-fi shrink rays, you could live in this house.
Okay, so when Broadway is back, do we know it's going to be back? Do you go back to Hamilton?
Yes, yeah,
okay.
Now, yeah. I mean, unless something happens, they don't tell me. But it's
right.
Now,
I'm telling you, you're going back.
Now, ladies and gentlemen, we're going to take you back to the beginning. First, there was the beats.
Freestyle Love Supreme too. The doc, it's just fascinating.
That was one of those moments, getting to watch that documentary was so cool, because getting to live the documentary was one thing, but getting to watch it was cool because, we've been on this journey for 16 years, and to see what the group has become, where it has gone, the people in it, where they have gone, and what it has produced is just, it's nothing but a blessing. We didn't know that. We were just having fun.
What's your favorite thing to freestyle?
We get asked suggestions about like movies or music or comic books. I love that. But if you were to ask the group, if you were to ask Freestyle Love Supreme, they would say my favorite thing to rap about is my wife. So somehow my rhymes always come back to Dawn. I don't know what it is, but it always comes back.
Can you give me one?
I dare to say that Tamsen and I, as we freestyle on this beat, there is no beat, but I'm still coming sweet, as these posters behind me show that I flow, and the blessings have been in every different show. Now, although we have COVID-19, I know that soon I will be on the scene when Broadway opens back its doors, and oh my God, will it be the biggest score as people put their butts back in the seat as we show them art the way only the elite, the people in NYC on Broadway, the Great White Way, the Black Lives Matter way, that they will see every day how we do this, how we are true to this, because we will show that this is a movement. They will see that it's not just what you see on the TV. You have to be inside the building so you can see the stage. You feel me? That's how we do it. That's how it'll be. And that's what people see when Broadway with a freestyle from who? Yours truly.
Oh, you're so good. I wish I had a whole room clapping for you. By just about all accounts, 2020 has stunk, but there's some truly fantastic news out of Whoville. On December 9th on NBC and streaming on Peacock after that, former Glee star Matthew Morrison is the Grinch in Dr. Seuss's The Grinch musical. We had a chance to talk about this holiday classic.
For this role, you know, it's something that's so big, and I've never really had the opportunity to play anything like this part before. There was a terrifying aspect to that, but at the same time, you know, I've been so hungry to perform for 7 months now, and to have this opportunity to have all that time away from not performing and really know that, you know, this is something I love to do, and to not work, this show has been really just an amazing gift for me, because I just feel so in my power and just wanting to do the best possible work. I'm so focused, and just my game face is on, and just having the best time.
I can feel it coming from you. You know, I think that we've got to, I think we've obviously had a reset and continue to have resets. I think our sensories are a bit different these days.
You know, this rehearsal process has been so strange, because, you know, we all get, all the cast is in a bubble. We do our COVID test before we go into the whole process. And then we're rehearsing with masks and having to be 6 feet apart. All I can see is people's eyes. So it's been really interesting to just get all the information you need from the eyes. Just earlier this week, we actually did another round of COVID tests, and then we all got to take our masks off for the first time. And it's like a totally different show. I'm like, whoa, there's so much going on. It was really cool.
So what was the big challenge with this role? Because this really is a role unlike any other.
For me to have this opportunity to play this part, and when I look at the people who've played, like Jim Carrey and you know, Benedict Cumberbatch did the animated film that just came out, they all have their own take on the character. And you know, this is the Grinch musical we're doing, and I get to kind of put my stamp on that. And having not worked for 7 months, I am really I'm going for it.
So you're going to find another Tony Award winner on your TV screen this holiday season. Broadway.com correspondent Charlie Cooper is here to tell us all about it. Hi, Charlie.
Thanks, Tamsen. Ali Stroker is starring in the Lifetime holiday film Christmas Ever After. I caught up with the talented Tony winner who spoke about fulfilling her dream of playing a rom-com leading lady, her inspiring career, and so much more.
I'm sensing you don't like the carpet.
Was this your idea?
No, it was his. Meet the new owner of the B&B, my son. He just moved back from Seattle.
Desmond?
Actually, no, it's Matt.
Matt?
Yep, Matt.
Your name's Matt?
Yeah, like short for Matthew.
You look exactly like... You know, never mind. This is something.
Just talk to us a little bit about your role and what the film is about.
So I play a character named Izzy, and she's a romance novelist. And she's up against a deadline, and she has not made the deadline yet. And every Christmas, she goes away to this wintry holiday lodge, and it's her favorite time of year. It's like her favorite thing ever. So when she gets there, she ends up running into a guy who looks exactly like her main character, and she can't believe it. And we see how their relationship plays out and how she ends up finishing this story. You know, I love Christmas movies, and I love holiday romance. I think it's so fun. It feels so festive, and I feel really lucky to have created this movie this year, because I think we need that right now. We need an escape. We need to feel like all of those warm feelings around the holidays. And so I'm really excited about it coming out.
Can I just tell you, when I pressed play on it, immediately, like the first minute into it, my initial reaction was literally me snapping and being like, yes! Two women, like on screen, first people that I see One is in a chair, one is a Black woman with a fro. And I'm just like, listen, the representation here is just everything. So talk to us about the importance of just representation in this film.
Representation is so important to me. It's one of the things that really fuels and lights my fire around my career, because growing up, I never saw anyone like me on stage or on screen. And so when I was offered this part to play the lead in a Christmas movie and a romantic comedy, I was so excited, because I always dreamt of seeing myself as the lead woman in a romantic comedy. One of my favorite parts is that my disability isn't directly talked about, which feels authentic to my life, because I don't always talk about being in a wheelchair in every single part of my life. I hope it inspires people, and people will know that they are important and represented.
Up next, Christmas comes to the underworld. The Fates from Broadway's Hadestown are out with a new holiday album, and we'll talk to them when we come back. I'm Tamsen Fadal, and you're watching Broadway Profiles. We've all seen the Charles Dickens classic, A Christmas Carol, but trust me, we have never seen it like this. Broadway.com's editor-in-chief Paul Wontorek is here to talk about it. Hi, Paul.
Thanks, Tamsen. Jefferson Mays won the Tony Award for playing more than 40 roles in I Am My Own Wife. Now he's upping the ante, taking on over 50 parts in A Christmas Carol Live. Take a look.
Since it's one person, I haunt myself for an hour and a half. It's almost a psychological portrait of Scrooge encountering the ghosts of his past and the present and an imagined future. And so the actor necessarily becomes almost possessed. And it seems to make sense, and it seems to play, and people seem to get that.
For better or worse, this is a holiday season like no other. Thankfully, the Fates of Hadestown are out with some new Christmas music guaranteed to lift your spirits. Broadway.com's Charlie Cooper is here with the story.
Oh, troubled dust concealing an undivided love, the heart beneath is teaching to the broken heart above.
I know that Hadestown was about to mark its first anniversary of sold-out performances on Broadway, but then, of course, COVID-19 hit. Talk about how this new project, served as a way to stay creative during this time for you guys.
First of all, such a blessing that we were able to get it done and get it made, because it has been hard to get certain creative projects made. But this is actually a long time coming. I had the idea to make this record like a year ago. And then pitched it to Broadway Records. And we were going to do it, but, scheduling wise, like maybe it wasn't the right time. And then when we found ourselves with a pandemic and a lot more time, we revisited the conversation, and it was just amazing how quickly it came together.
How long did all of this take to have all of you guys together, in New York recording?
There was cast members from all over, right? And so they were recording individually on their end. But we did have a lot of people, like the musicians were all there at the same time, and the three of us were at the same time. So we kind of went in groups.
Yeah. And we would see other company members trickle in and have their own sessions, and then we entered the studio. So it was cool to see everybody in passing at the same time, because obviously we don't want a whole group of people in there at the same time.
Even for the three of us, when we got together and we're back in the booth doing our harmonies and our own parts, like it didn't take that long for us to necessarily find our groove, our harmonic groove together again.
There were some songs that came to the cutting board, if you will, where we were thinking about maybe doing certain songs, but decided it didn't quite match the vibe of Hadestown.
I think when you listen to Hadestown, you hear all of those genres, right? It's not like any other show you've heard before. And so I think we've managed to do that really well with the album, with the Christmas album as well.
Coming up on Broadway Profiles, it's a miracle on 22nd Street, how a mistaken address turned into the ultimate act of charity. I'm Tamsen Fadal, and you're watching Broadway Profiles. It's one of New York City's great holiday stories. Every year, hundreds of letters addressed to Santa arrive at one Midtown apartment. Let's send it back to Broadway.com's editor-in-chief, Paul Wontorek.
What started as an often mistaken address has turned into the ultimate act of charity. Now, a decade after it began, Miracle on 22nd Street is celebrating its 10th anniversary of making Christmas dreams come true. It's a story that even attracted the attention of none other than Tina Fey. Take a look.
About 10 years ago, we were living in an apartment in Chelsea. You know, the guys who had lived there before us, when we had met them and they showed us the apartment, they were like, oh, hey, just so you know, you're gonna get these letters to Santa delivered to the apartment. And we don't really think anything about it. It's only a couple every year, but just so you know, it happens. And we were like, okay, that's weird, and didn't really think anything about it. But then one year, we started to get letters in October, and it was just a couple. We're like, oh, the letters are starting early, and multiple letters started to come in. By November, we had about 100, and then more and more came in. By December, we had over 400 letters. What ended up happening is that by the middle of December, just about a couple of weeks before Christmas, actually, the letters were stacking up in our apartment. We threw a party, actually. I work on Broadway, so a bunch of my Broadway friends came over. My friend was like, well, I'll just take a letter and I'll just fulfill it. And then another friend was like, I'll do that too. And it sort of spiraled into this, like, we're gonna get these letters fulfilled. We have to do something about these letters. I went to all of my friends in a variety of different Broadway offices. It was a pretty magical thing that the community came together and started to take these letters. What ended up happening was we just ended up getting all of these people who were like, I wanna take a letter, I wanna help, what can I do? And we created this organization called Miracle on 22nd Street that connects families in need with real life elves every year. So over the past decade, I think we have helped over 2,000 families in New York City. There's so many more places that we've been able to help in other areas. So I think it might be even more. It's crazy. There's a film being made about this story, which blows my mind. And none other than Tina Fey is writing it. She called, left me a voice message, and was like, Jim, this is Tina Fey. I'd love to turn your story into a movie. And I was like, yes! I'm so excited to have that sort of the icon of these of Broadway and Tina Fey and New York City, and then the magic of these letters to title together. It's gonna be amazing.
And with Broadway still closed, so many of the tens of thousands of people employed behind the scenes have had to pivot, like stage manager Caskey Hunsener. He also recently launched Stage Door Candle Company. It's a line of candles inspired by some of our most popular Broadway musicals, and he gave us a preview.
I got the idea to start Stage Door Candle Company just because I was looking for something to do. It had been several months into the pandemic, and I was frankly pretty bored without any work. So I was kind of looking around for some sort of crafting projects. Candles and fragrances seemed to be a really good answer for that. And then I figured out, how to connect it to the theater industry and make it something that people who are missing Broadway could take home and still enjoy and celebrate Broadway, even though they can't go to a theater in person. The original line of products includes 9 fragrances that are inspired by musicals like Wicked, Mamma Mia, Miss Saigon, and Les Mis, and they're all available for sale in our candles, our oil reed diffusers, and room sprays at stagedoorcandles.com.
You're just too good to be true. Can't take my eyes off of you.
That's John Lloyd Young, a Tony Award winner and original cast member of the smash hit Jersey Boys. Now one of Broadway's greatest voices of the past 20 years can also be part of your personal soundtrack this holiday season. John's got 2 streaming concerts this month, one to celebrate Christmas, the other to ring in the new year.
Slow down, darling.
wanted to do sort of a hybrid of a concert, which is a lot of the classic stuff that I usually do, that I'm known for, some of the really just lush, wonderful throwback R&B songs, you know, like the Smokey Robinson, Lil Anthony kind of stuff, some Roy Orbison, just almost like comfort food kind of songs, and then the beginning of some holiday stuff. One of the great things about a New Year's concert in 2020 is that I can give my concert and you can have it going on your computer while you watch you could still watch the ball drop in Times Square if you want. So I know I have some hefty competition with, you know, the ringing in the new year, and everybody wants that new year to be rung in pretty urgently, I think, as though that will magically erase what we've gone through. Let's just keep our fingers crossed about that.
Girls, so show me and tell me that you feel the same way too.
Everything we do in our live performances, we also do in these live stream ones. So it's as if you're there. And I like to say that in terms of playing the room, usually you play the back row so that everyone's included. But with the live stream, you better play the front row. To have the performers like me and the shows and everything really kind of engage with you at home, that has stepped forward in a big way because of COVID. Now we can never go back. In the long run, it could be a nice kind of feeder for the community to have such a widespread now internet audience who's got skin in this game.
And that's going to do it for us. Until next time, have a safe and happy holiday season. I'm Tamsen Fadal, and you're watching Broadway Profiles.